Imagine if you had a step-by-step guide to help you map out the next 90 days of your business. Well, today's episode, I've done and created that exact thing for you. I'm going to walk you through the exact process I use for myself and for our students inside the Best Damn Coach to map out a 90-day game plan inside their business. And definitely stick around to the end because I'm going to share with you the one, I think, most critical piece of the goal setting process. Welcome to this week's episode of the Best Damn Coach podcast. It's Amanda. Grateful that you are joining. Hope you're having an amazing week. And I hope you're ready for an episode that is going to take you through my step-by-step process for quarterly planning. We are coming to the end of the quarter. This is actually the last episode of the quarter. So I thought it just a timely episode that's very tactical. I wouldn't even encourage you, if you're in a place, like grab your pen, come through this entire episode live with me and map out quarter 2 of the year. And if you're not, then listen to it, save it, pin it, highlight it, grab an accountability partner, send them the episode, and you can sit on Zoom together or in person at a really vibey coffee shop and go through this process together. I decided I wanted to just not gatekeep this because this is where I see so many people running businesses really struggle. Is there's this great new year energy. Let's go. 2025, here we come. They put together this kind of quasi plan for the year and then falls totally short because they're not going back and tracking the quarters, or maybe they haven't even created quarterly benchmarks. Or if you're like me in my business, it was really hard to even imagine a year out in the beginning. And then really nobody gave me the process until I kind of had to step back myself and say, okay, but what am I going to do each quarter? Like I can see out 90 days from now. And this has been kind of the regular occurrence in my business. And it's really helped me be more productive, more intentional, a more effective time manager. And most importantly for you, it helps me make more money because I know exactly how I'm going to spend my time. A mentor early on told me, don't sit down at your computer if you don't know what you're going to do. And I've held that so close over all of this time because truthfully, my family's more important. And so if I'm going to be time in the office, then I need to know what I'm spending it. And especially as this quarter ends, summertime will be upon us. I know my kids are going to be home from school. We're going to have a much looser schedule, which is going to require me to be even more diligent with my time. And so this process is exactly what I do in real time. And I'm going to walk you through it throughout this episode. This is also what we do inside the BDC. Actually, I take the girls through this process in real time. And then what we do is monthly accountability calls and goal setting calls so that we can keep wrapping back to the goals and say, if this is where I want to be at the end of the quarter, how is this looking month by month? We've actually added this call in 2025. It's been so cool to watch because there's implementation happening at a much deeper level. We're having results happen. People are doing things they've been resisting for freaking years, and it lights my soul on fire. So this is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. And so before I get into the step-by-step process of what I'm going to share, I really just want to ask you, how's the first quarter of the year been going for you? Maybe you're on top of the world. Maybe you feel like you're having a hard time getting started. I don't know where in that spectrum you sit, but I want you to know it's all good. Wherever you're at, this is like the first quarter of the game. We haven't even reached halftime of the year. So we have so much time and space to accomplish things, but I also want you to tread lightly on that topic because time is your most precious resource. And no matter where you are, it's okay to pick up right where you're at right now and just go. And I hope this episode provides that space for you to just do that thing. But like most things, like what you put energy in, where attention flows, energy goes. And so if you're just talking about things at a very sporadic high level without granular detail, then you're not going to see those things come into fruition. You have to set the intention, speak truth into it, breathe life into it, and then actually go out and take the massive action, right? Passive action is that energy of consumption, the listening, the certifications, the consuming, the material and books. Massive action is the thing where you actually go out and move the needle. You go out and you take risk, right? Which feels scary and uncomfortable. And that's why so many people don't ever get into that space. They hang out in this wannapreneur place where I recently heard that term. It's like, I love the idea of being a coach. I love the idea of running a business. And it might even appear like I'm doing that on social. But if I were to open up your books, you would show me you're not making any money. And that is not what I want for you. I want you to get paid to do the work you love. And that takes time and consistency and habits to build. I know you're here because you probably desire time freedom, making your own schedule, serving and impacting people, financial freedom. But all those things come over time with the diligence of processes to help support that. And this is one of them today. And so much of what I'm going to share is with the assumption you've done a yearly goal setting process. And if you haven't, then use this as kind of the starting point. But I do everything with the end in mind. So when I'm quarterly planning, it's because I know I have a big goal ahead. So maybe your goal is to make 6 figures or serve 20 clients or to have a steady, passive income coaching program of 6 figures. I don't know what it is. But what we really want to do is compare like this whole to part or part to whole component. So just because I'm going to use round numbers and it makes it easy for us, imagine my goal is 6 figures by the end of the year. What we want to start using these quarterly blocks are to really ask ourselves, are we getting close to where we had the intention? So if your goal is to make 6 figures, then how I kind of see that just evenly is that each quarter I should be coming close to about $25,000 of income. So we're quarter one in the year. And if that's your goal, you can ask yourself, am I close to that mark? If the answer is yes, it's like, cool. Then I want to go high level. Like, what the heck is working here? I'm going to walk you through some questions here shortly. If the answer is like, I'm at 5K, then what we have to ask ourselves is, did I set a realistic and ethical goal for myself? Or was it just freaking arbitrary because everybody's like, make 6 figures, that's cool. Because if I made 20 last year, is 6 figures ethical for myself and realistic? And this is never to say like I love stretch goals, but use them as inspiration, not as to weaponize against yourself for sure. And so what you want to really use this quarterly timing for is actually both reflection and projection and goal setting. So we want to look back at what's happening. And so we have this beautiful tracker that we share inside the BDC, but it's spun off from a theme. So I teach my students how to build the theme for the year. I don't like a word. It feels very vague. For me, I'm like, what's the strength and weakness? What do we learn from last year? How do we intensify our outcome and use this theme as a guiding light? So for me, we've kind of operated under the same theme, same but better. And now we've added this year optimization, same but better. And we are going to optimize. So we've added one new offer into our business. We're not offering anything new this year. Like what we have is what we'll be. We're just going to take the offers and make them better. The small bite intensive at the time of recording this just knocked socks off. We sold more spots than I had the goal for. The results were amazing. I know that this needs to be in the hands of more coaches. So we're going to spend time optimizing that and selling more of that amongst our other offers. So what is that for you really? What is your theme and are you taking action? So it makes it a very easy yes for me and around like when shiny objects come into place, I'm able to say, okay, our theme is same but better. So if all of a sudden I'm like, ting, we should offer this. I'm like, no, same but better. Optimize. We don't need new offers. Maybe in the future there might be, but as of now in 2026, I see nothing but optimization in my world and growing the things we're already doing. It's also the first year we're ever hosting a live event, which if you're hearing this before April 7th, we do have a few tickets left. The event is April 7th and 8th in Phoenix, Arizona. I am teaching strategies to grow your business in real time, in real life. We have beautiful lunches that are provided, happy hour at the end on the 2nd. We've got other surprises. We're also curating just a community gathering Monday night. I would love for you to join us. I'm still happy to honor the discount code. So head on over to amanda-walker.com/BDC live, or just message me. And the code to get $100 off is BDC Bestie. I digress. Let me come back to what I'm saying. So all of this really is spun off of that theme for you. So I would play with that a little bit. But here's some things I really want you to think about. And I'm going to give you some questions, encourage you to pause the episode if you want or come back to them. But here are some questions that are important for you to really look back on the last quarter. First is, what worked? What worked in your personal life? What worked in your business life really well? So much of the time we're focused on the gaps. And so we end up trying to solve problems that we don't really need to fix. But like, what really worked? How do we do more of it? Second question is, did I meet my goal? Why or why not? Now, if you're at this question and you don't even know what your goal is, then here lies an opportunity. You should absolutely know what your goal is. Know where you want to be so that steadfast attention is directed towards it. And why or why not did you? Transparently, we spent a lot of time catching up because, we had some major shifts happen in our business. One, we spent December and January launching an automated funnel to invite students into the Framework Builder Lab. And it just did not. It was breaking our funnel that was working. And so instead of trying to spend hours and lots of money making it work, I'm like, yeah, let's go to what we know what worked, which was having live workshops all last year. So we are back to having bi-monthly live workshops. The other big shift that happened in the first quarter for us is my amazing OBM, who's worked with me for 5 years, had some major life changes. And that meant that she needed to make a best decision for her. And she unfortunately isn't working for us. And that makes me sad. I love her. She's amazing. But it also opened up a huge opportunity for somebody else inside my business who has so many amazing qualifications to take on that role and start to do it her way. And we're already learning some amazing opportunities together. But that took a lot of time because then I moved a second person into a new role. And so now we're all learning each other styles, needs, opportunities. And so this quarter, I feel like didn't move as fast as I'd like, and that's okay. I believe that it all happens for me, and those opportunities are creating better leadership in me and also an opportunity to slow down and kind of put a fine-tooth comb to the business. And so those are like two really key questions that I want to offer. And the last one was like, what do I really want right now in my business? And knowing all of this information, how am I going to move forward into the next quarter? So this is all important stuff to look back, right? I don't believe you can know where you're going if you don't look back and really see what worked. And I want to be cautious here. Feelings lie to you. You need to look at the numbers, look at the data. You could be like, oh, it went so great. I felt so good. But I'm like, did you make any income? No. Okay, well, do you want to? Okay, it's kind of important, right? So really high level, and this is a continual work in progress inside the BDC as well. Now we can start to look at the actual quarter. So now you can settle into what's coming. And the first question is, what is your goal for the quarter? Where do you want to be by the end of the next quarter? And as you identify that, is it a numerical goal? Is it a number of clients served? Is it an income goal? Is it a launching something special goal? I don't know what that is for you. You have to lock that in yourself. But what that begins to do is unravel a monthly process. So if we look at the quarters, 3 months, it's 90 days. So then what you can ask yourself is, in order to accomplish that goal, what do I need to accomplish each month? So if the goal is to serve, let's say 9 clients, then that means each month we should be successfully bringing on 3 clients. So what do you have to do that? Is it go to networking communities? Is it give a certain amount of calls to action? Is it host a workshop? Is it reach out? These are the things that you should know, the defining actions inside of your business that bring in leads, and those leads become clients. And so I like to see this kind of as monthly focal points and projects. Maybe you're trying to launch a new offer. You're going to host a workshop maybe at the end of quarter 2. Then if that's the case, what are the project focuses that you're going to do to be ready to host said workshop by the end of quarter 1? So maybe month 1, it's like identifying the title, the content, etc., that are going to be important for the workshop. Month 2 is maybe developing the emails that need to go out before and after the workshop. And then month 3 is beginning to advertise, publicize, invite people in, fill the workshop, and then actually deliver on it. So just in general, a great habit and a great kind of skill set to develop is to continually chunk down these high level things that you want to accomplish and do it from this place of empowerment. None of us know how to specifically achieve big goals because we've never been there before. Like, this is something that's so counterintuitive. Goals feel scary and uncertain because you've never been there. It's very easy to set a goal and do something you've already done. It's really scary to run your first marathon because you don't know how, but it's easier to run the second because you do know how and you have a strategy for success. This is why when we goal set, we want to goal set from a place of future. Like, if I were the person that's hosted a workshop, if I were a person that runs a 6-figure business, if I were a person who has a full caseload, how would I act and behave and take action? That's an empowering place to set goals from. And I really encourage you to understand this about the goal setting process. Goals are meant to inspire, and then we have to take action according to what we believe with the knowledge we have right now is the most effective way to accomplish the task. And then once we kind of know, like, what do I want from this month? Like, maybe it's write all the email copy. Then the final step is get into the granular steps. Like, first, how am I going to measure that goal? It's either completion or it's tangible. But if you say something like, I want to feel more confident, I want to feel empowered, like, how do we measure that? We need to have tangible things that we're really walking towards in our business. And once we know that, we can set those baby steps. So if email copywriting is part of it, then it's like, I need to write 3 emails that are the beginning part of the nurture sequence after they sign up for the workshop. I need to write the 6 emails that I'm going to send out after the workshop is over, right? We start to then break that bigger project into smaller steps. Because the goal is, when you leave the goal setting process, you know exactly the next thing to do. It's not then go sit and go, okay, where should I spend my time? It's like, all right, I'm ready. Let's go. Like, there should be energy that comes up inside of you after you've set the goal. This process is not complex. It's really about the consistency of showing up to do it, not just on a quarterly basis, but a monthly basis. Spending the time in it to stop, reflect, project, looking at the goal, actually knowing your goal. I've worked with clients. I'm like, okay, what was your goal for the month? They're like, I don't actually know. I'm like, yeah, we got to know the goal. Because if we don't know the goal, we're definitely not taking inspired action towards it. So write it on a sticky note, place it around you, put it on your whiteboard, like whatever the thing is. It's important that it stays around you and you're present with it so that you can actually achieve said goal. So this is the process. It's simple. The questions are easy. It's about repetition. And I think for you, like, a great thing to do is maybe set a reminder to come back to this episode 3 months from now and rinse and repeat so that you can weave this strategy into your weekly routine or your monthly routine, your quarterly routine, whatever it is. But goal setting is so powerful. This is what being a CEO of your business is. This is one of the skill sets necessary to move from this side business, this baby business language, and into a real business. I guarantee you, large companies are reviewing their metrics consistently, setting goals accordingly, asking themselves what's working in real time, and projecting how to use that information to better the growth of the business in the direction that feels most aligned for them. And you are an amazing business owner, and I want you to embody that. And one of the ways I feel like is great too, if you're listening to this and you're like, I'm ready, Amanda, Q1 is done. I want more energy. I want to be in support of like-minded people. I need mentorship. Then I would love to be that for you. The Best Damn Coach is our community where all these things are happening. You'll literally come with me on a journey every month where we do this the first Monday of the month. So you can't hide from it. You're supported. You can ask questions. You can learn from the others doing similar things. So if you're curious about that, I'd love to just invite you to book a call on my calendar. You can head on over to amanda-walker.com/let's chat, LETSCHAT. We'll add it into the show notes. And book a time on my calendar. I'd love to hear about your business and how I can support you and learn more about whether or not the Best Damn Coach is a great fit for you. So enjoy. Happy Q2 of 2025. I'm so grateful we're doing it together. And until next time, of course, go coach them up. And if you found that this episode supported you, resonated with you, please share it with a friend. Say, hey, let's do this together. Here's an amazing suggestion for goal setting. And I would be so grateful if you did that. So see y'all soon.